This video intends to show how to integrate Gamanet C4 with the Bosch fire alarm system by OPC interface. The main software, as well as the Bosch driver, can be downloaded from C4 portal as long as an authorization provided by Gamanet. Here is the list of what are necessary for a successful installation. From Gamanet portal, you will get the core software and Bosch driver. From Bosch, you will get the OPC server and the hardware. And from the OPC Foundation website, you will download the OPC core components for free. The integration is easy and fast as long as you prepare a clean Windows system computer. It is strongly recommended that no SQL Server and Windows.NET has been installed previously. The first installation OPC core component, and we already download this. You see, this is the OPC core component. We choose the 86 digits version, which is required. We double click and agree. It will be installed pretty fast. Okay, this is already done, and we jump into the second step: install FPA OPC server. So we can download this on the web portal, but I already prepared on my desk on my computer here. Open it and find out the setup file, double click and run anyway. Choose the language version and click next, accept, and everything keep on default. Choose both network and finish. It's pretty fast. The things what here we need to do is to make a configuration of it. Usually we set it up as number 2, but this depends on the RPS setting of your own system. I have an IP address of this computer as 99 and I install my OPC server in this computer. So this is my setup. The Bosch OPC server setup is quite simple and with higher compatibility. During the troubleshooting, if the IP address RNA number checked to be right, and usually there is no trouble with OPC server and has to allocate trouble from elsewhere. I plug in my network cable and the other side of the cable is connecting with my fire panel, and here we need to change adapter options. You see that the Wi-Fi was disabled, what we used just now, and we come into the Ethernet here and set up our IP address. We had a fixed IP address, which always 99 and default, and that's it. Okay, now we verify whether everything works. So check our IP address, we got it, and then we try to ping our fire panel. My panel is set up at 77, so you see that the network is already connected. We jump into the next step, it's run configuration editor. Yeah, we have already done this actually. This is what we done just now for set up the correct IP address with the OPC servers. And then what we need to do is to install the SQL server. More confident to install it first because you have more options. It is go along together with the C4 installation package. You see that if you open the compressed file, they give you a pre-request, and then you find the SQL Server, then you click Set Up. It will be pre-installation before you have the C4 software installed. Now we focus on the installation. We need a new SQL Server standalone installation. I mean, this is the most problem maker because formally I have another building management system installed on this computer, and when you try to install another one, it will almost never work because the conflict is always. So that's why I always keep on remind clean computer. Okay, I accept the license. Then we start to install updates. Yeah, maybe could not search for updates. Doesn't matter, and we don't need it. Learn more. We click next and start it to install. So we get a warning because the Windows firewall was not disabled. We should disable the Windows firewall now. Um, okay, now it really take a long time to install the SQL Server restart required. So now we close and we need to restart. Now we restart it. What we do next is that we need to install the C4. Go to the file and set up. The OPC now is stopped. The C4 platform is now installing. Next, select. So we already installed this last step, so we select it now. This step is important. Gamanet issues the license binding with unique computer MAC address. When purchasing C4 license, Gamanet will ask you to provide MAC address of the Ethernet card you would like to install C4. Here's important. Two things. One thing is that it needs to create a new user of C4 service. And later on, this has to be modified in the Windows system. And then this port number usually it's very frequently to be duplicated. Then you need to use the CMD and then we need to check which port has been used. And in this list, you need to make sure that this 443 is not occupied by something else. So see, we select a little bit safer number, or put it 521, and then we click next. We install it here. parallel, when we have some spare time, we can start our service of Bosch OPC. It's in green, it's started. And let's check whether we have a connection. Not yet. See, now it's connected. It actually do not need me to reset my file panel, although I did it just now. This means the server had built communication with file panel. We're just waiting for the installation of C4. After that, we need to have the registration form of Windows. We need to set up the two values, and also we need to set up the decom authorization for the new created user of C4 service. This is very important. Now the installation completed. Before we restart, we need to modify the registration table and decom setup. What we do next step, we need to set up the registration form. We already have too much. From here, what we do is we reach edit. Okay, and here from the class root, we need to find the app ID group, which is here. We need to create a new value, a new key actually. The name is driverrunner.exe. We copy this name. Oh no, it's better to copy it before when we create this values, because the Windows didn't allow you to change the name. You have to do it in one pick. So we create a new key again and give it the right name, and we have here, so it's required to have a name which is app ID. Oh no, we just copy and string type value. We create a new one, string value, and the name is like that, and the value is here. Copy the full name of it and change it from here. Okay, then we have it, and another one is we need to repeat this step from here. Create a value. See, this is the 32 bits decimal value, and the name is like this. So firstly, we need to create a new key, name like this, and then we need to create a 32 bits dwords value. Oh, I need to actually copy it first. Now, the name should be authorization level. Let's see, we can change it. No, we can't change it. So we create a new one and give it a name like this. And we delete this and change the value from 0 to 1. Okay, that's what we should do. And then we finish this step, and the last step is to set up the decom. We need to go to the decom setup, decom config. Okay, then in component service and components, my computer, and then we right click and go into the properties and go to the comp security setup. Only needs to set up this, but the most important thing is to add the user which created by C4 surface. Check name, it should be there. If it's not, that means installation is wrong. Usually it's there, and edit both of them and also add the user here. C4 service. Check them again and click OK. Check all of them and apply OK, and then we're done. So this is all we should do, and we need to restart. Now we restart it and we check our OPC server. It's already connected with our panel, and the moment to start first time of the C4. So the default username is support, and as well as the password. So we don't have to remember it because we need to change it for the first time. Now we give it a new password. Now, what we do for the first time running, because this is the common C4 platform, we need to install our drivers together with our license. As mentioned before, we already have our license, and then we go to license here and active our license, because we already download the license, or we coming from Gamanet, and then we just find the file and load it into that. My file was located in my folder of Gamanet, and it's ended by .lick. Open it and next. It will activating the license. You see, it's already valid, and it will install the driver. License active or failed. Okay, perhaps we need to connect with the internet. Then we just unplug with the Ethernet and do it again. Okay, the Ethernet is connected, and we load it again. So you see, it's installation the drivers, which means that the license already valid. Do you want to install driver bounds to your license? Yes, why not? And it's finished. Then we have our license active, and also we have our driver installed. What we do next is to set up it. So we name this as a Bosch integration, Bosch C4, and leave this alone. Then we are able to add our fire controllers. So this is the FPA 5000, although it's a network, and we need an IP address of the OPC server, which is where it's installed. It's on this computer, 99, and that's it. Not yet, and we need to add the panel. We give it name of 301 or whatever. Because we don't have a battery, we just leave it alone, and we need a power supplies. But the most important is here, the format of the panel is required as follow these formats. It's the group and nodes which is aligned with the RPS file. Then furthermore, we need to add something to verify whether everything works. So the most easy thing is to add a many call point. I know my many call point on this panel is point number 2, and we still have an sub address of number 1, which is the full address of its devices. For make it looks better, we also add another detector group. Okay, this shows something was wrong, and because it's need a name. My ISCP, I know it's DM series, and now it's right. So then I can add another file group back again. And I know one of my detector on my panel is a smoke detector which has the address of group 1, and of course it's a fire detector. Give it a name FAP 425. This is everything can be configured. It's also number 1 of the sub address. Now everything's ready, and it's the time for first time running. It's required to go to the command and start. See, we have a blue color, which means the system is already in operation. And as long as you have a fault, then everything will display a color of orange. And now we are lucky. We do everything fresh and new, then we got one time successful. What we should do, we need to list all the device on the map to monitor it. So we need a designer and we need a map. So we have some maps on the computer. Just add some AutoCAD file or JPEG files, all depends on your like, and we can put some devices over there. You see that we got our devices already there. We can track them. This is a medical point. Usually it should be located nearby the door. It's a little bit big. And we have a smoke. We put somewhere in the middle. To better showing more specific device symbols, I delete the zone symbols and place device symbols instead. So I come back to monitor and let's trigger a fire again. Oh, now we have it. See that we got an alarm? Firstly, I mute my buzzer. We can have some operation here of the detector. We can reset it. This is the most important operation. Now I saw the panel is reset. This is it. Thank you very much for watching.